Well, it's not what I was expecting either. I'm too soon for this puzzle.
It looks like the rector is desperate to reduce the costs of running the academy.
For emergency use only, this is not a public phone. Rector Maximilian Mahler.
Guten Tag!
What now? If you're from the council, you can come back when I'm not so busy.
Oh, sorry, you startled me.
So, now what do you want, council minion?
I'm not from the council. I'm just a visitor here. I came because I was hoping to look at the file of a student from the 1930s.
Oh. I'm sorry, It's just that I haven't time for digging up old files from 70 years ago. I have way too much to do here, you understand.
I can tell you're a little overwhelmed. Where's the rest of the staff? Or maybe a student could show me.
You are standing in front of the rector, and the only employee of this academy. My name is Maximilian Mahler, and it falls upon me to manage everything on the premises. The maintenance, the archiving, and the lot before we close next month. So, if you don't mind...
I'm very sorry to hear that the academy is closing, and I can see you're extremely busy, but I've come such a long way to see it. I'd be so grateful if you could locate it. It's really important to me.
And so is this place important to me, too. And I would love to hear the mechanical orchestra play one last time before the academy closes. But, alas, I can't, can I? Unless,
Unless what?
well, you know.
All right, then. So if I get the mechanical orchestra going, you'll get me that file, right?
Oh, of course, Fraulein. Of course.
Okay, I'll give it a try. Believe it or not, I have seen mechanisms like the one on the square before.
Well, in that case, I promise to give you the file in return for your services.
Thanks.
But I must warn you that the square has undergone some transformations over the years, and some parts of the mechanism may be difficult to get to.
Don't worry, I'll make myself thin and slide between the cracks.
You'll find some of them scattered around the square, and some of the others you'll find in the clock tower. Now, if you'll excuse me for a second.
What are you...
Now, what is the name of that student you're interested in?
Roze. Dana Roze.
And what were the years she attended our illustrious academy?
In the 30s. 1937, to be precise.
Oh, and here it is. And here you will find the annual inspection reports of the mechanisms by Frau Beckmann.
Frau Beckmann?
She was the rectress of the academy during the years you spoke of. These are from 1937. You see, I have a marvelous memory regarding archives. This is why I have chosen Frau Beckmann's, because there's something in here regarding that Edna Roze you spoke of.
Dana Roze.
Quite. You will also find some sheet music with annotations. This is the Hymn of Vaghen, which you must play on the piano on the square in order to activate the orchestra of automatons. Once you have fixed the mechanisms, of course. All right then, here you go. What are you waiting for?
This sheet music corresponds to the piano part for the hymn of Vaghen. Someone's added annotations. They could help me play the hymn on the piano on the square, like the rector asked me to. I wonder what it's supposed to represent. The report that the rectoress of the academy filled in with the help of Dana back in the 30s. According to the present rector, I should find all the information I need to repair the mechanisms on the square. Music Academy Inspection Report, October 12, 1937.
Today, I was due to inspect the musical mechanisms that enable students to give a public display of their talent and enable us to showcase the quality of our teaching to the people of our beautiful town. Like every year, I needed a volunteer from our students to help me during the inspection, and this year's choice was obvious.
I'm fine, really.
Well, you're looking off color, darling, and on edge.
No, it's just that I haven't heard from Leon since he left with the Origin expedition from Kantar. And also,
Well, we've got company. You'll tell me later, Dana, darling. Meantime, be good and stay safe.
You too, Yunta.
Is everything all right? You look under the weather. We don't want one of our best and brightest to fall ill now, do we?
Thank you for asking, Frau Beckmann, but I'm just a little tired, that's all.
And who was that lady?
Just a friend I met this summer.
You do keep some surprising company, Fraulein Rose. Anyway, I have something for you that will take your mind off things.
Oh?
Would it interest you to see the mechanisms that enabled you to perform so brilliantly here last spring?
That would be wonderful.
Good. Come and join me at the kiosk when you have a moment. But don't be too long, though.
Yeah, that we read. I can only say that so much has changed since that memorable evening at the refuge when I first met Leon. This past summer by his side has been like living in a dream, such a sweet interlude. I finally went to say goodbye to Lynn. Such a terrible separation, can't write to anymore. Damn the Brown Shadow and Frank Huss for putting us through this headache just to satisfy his revenge. Last night I saw Yunta that's the filmmaker and Leon's friend I met last summer at the refuge. I can't think why such a well-known and free-minded figure should want to bother with a 18-year-old girl like me. She's probably just honoring the promise she made to Lynn about watching over me, isn't she? Although I must say she does seem sincere. Maybe we're simply becoming friends. But that's not all. Yunta gave me a letter from Leon. The Origin expedition he went with has arrived in Kanta, the capital of Baltayar. As long as he is there, we can write to each other. Leon will send his letters to Yunta, who will pass them discreetly to me to avoid any awkward questions that my parents might ask about where the letters come from, and above all, about the sender. So excited, saw Junta again today. She gave me a letter from Leon. Apparently her Berger, the expedition chief, is being really horrible to him, and yet Berger knows full well Leon was forced into accompanying the expedition, but Leon makes Kanta and Baltana seem so wonderful. I would love to go there with him running across the land of dreams. Christmas seems so far away, I just can't wait to see him again, so much so that I'm even willing to accept that stupid nickname he gave me. He uses it in all his letters anyway. Then Leon wrote of their innocent departure of the origin expedition from Kanta. They aim to head out for the wilderness of the high plateau of Baltana to pursue their search for the abominable snowman. But worst of all, he says he won't be able to write to me. He says the Yetis don't have a postal service. Not funny. Anyway, I hope everything goes well for him. I must admit I'm a bit worried, dear diary. It's been weeks since I last heard from Leon. I knew he wouldn't be able to write once he headed out for the high plateau, but I didn't realize they were supposed to stay there for so long. I wonder what's keeping them. Still no news from Leon. It's making me feel physically nervous. I keep getting those horrible nightmares of Leon being attacked by snow creatures. I was sick this morning when I woke up, and I kept getting this oppressed feeling as if my lung affection is back. My teacher at the academy find me distracted. I really need to get a hold of myself. Junta is going to stop to see me at the academy after my lesson. With a little luck, she'll have some good news. Oh, there she is, okay, but we're not going yet.
The maintenance room of the Academy. Frau Beckmann forbids us from entering.
Hello!
Hello!
I can hardly believe I held my concert here just 6 months ago. 6 months. Seems like a lifetime. So much has happened. Meeting Leon for a start. It would be so good if he were here now. I love receiving his letters since he left to Baltea with the Origin expedition. The way he described Kantar, the capital, made it sound like a city from a dream. We've said so much on paper. And I love to read between the lines. But since the expedition left Kantar for the mountains, no news. I just hope he's okay.
I'm in the kiosk, Fräulein.
Oh, good grief. It's going to take me all day long to clean that lot up.
Piano? Okay. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Come and see, Fräulein.
Incredible.
Isn't it just? You see these flags? Each mechanism housing for each musical automaton on the square is represented by one of these flags.
Fascinating.
Today is the day they are being serviced. Each mechanism has been inspected by an Academy maintenance man. In theory, they're all functional. But if you like, you can go and see these maintenance men on my behalf and fetch back their respective reports. You would be doing me a big favor, as I have to inspect the piano in the kiosk. And also, it will give you a chance to take a peek at each of the automaton mechanisms.
Thank you very much for choosing me for this task, Frau Beckmann, but why me?
Consider it a reward for being one of the best students of the Academy. And it looks to me like you need something to take your mind off your worries. Now, take this. You'll need it to open the maintenance room that leads to the most impressive mechanism of all, that of the clock tower.
Thank you, Frau Beckmann.
Do you have any questions before you go?
Do you know who built the mechanical orchestra? My father told me it didn't exist when he was young.
They were built by a strange young French inventor by the name of Vorarlberg some years ago. From what I heard, he was visiting Vaghen while en route to the east, just after the huge fire that destroyed the town. He was moved by the legend of Vera Schönberg, that virtuoso who died in the fire, so he offered his talents to rebuild the city and create the mechanical orchestra.
When the mechanical orchestra played along with me last spring, it was incredible. But how does it manage to play at the same tempo as the piano? It was almost like in a dream.
Oh, it wasn't dream work, Fräulein, but clockwork. The piano is connected to the mechanism that you are going to inspect, and the hymn of Vaghen played on the keys. That's what sets the rhythm and the intensity of the performance, and that's what triggers everything else.
What happened to Vera Schönberg? My mother always says it's the saddest story.
And she's right. You probably know that Vera Schönberg was Waghen's most famous musician at the beginning of the century. But her legend was truly born the night she performed a cello concerto right here on the square. It was also the night of the worst fire in Waghen's modern history.
And Frau Schönberg, she died in the fire, right?
She did, as well as all the other musicians and the entire audience. They were surrounded by flames, trapped on this square.
How dreadful.
Dreadful indeed. But according to the legend, Vera Schönberg kept playing Waghen's hymn until the very end. She understood they were all doomed to die, and her music brought them peace of mind during their last moments. This automaton you played with last spring was created in her image as a final tribute.
I had no idea.
Well, now you know all about the legend of Vera Schönberg. Was there something else, Fräulein Roze?
I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fräulein.
According to Frau Beckmann, it opens the maintenance room just next to the clock tower.
You can tell, Frau Beckmann, this automaton still works correctly, but it's so filthy that it won't last long. It's going to take me the whole day to give it a good clean if it's to get past winter.
The maintenance man said it was functional. I shouldn't touch it. It seems perfectly functional. It seems perfectly functional.
So you're the one Frau Beckmann sent, are you? Well, you can tell her there's no problem with this automaton. Just needs cleaning up and a bit of oiling. Have a gander at the mechanism if you like.
A part of the mechanism was damaged, but I changed it. You can tell Frau Beckmann everything's in order now.
This looks complex. What is this? Better try another one. It's locked.
Hey, careful what you're doing here, right? Don't go and injure yourself or damage any of the material.
I'll try my very best. Thank you.
The spare parts for the automatons on the square.
I just come down from the tower. You can tell Frau Beckman everything's in order up there. The mechanism's in perfect condition.
According to what the maintenance guy told Dana, there should be an access to the clock tower somewhere in the room.
Oh, I've already checked over everything upstairs. There's no point you going up there.
That elevator Dana tried to take, it leads to the clock tower. We need to find it, Oscar.
I would love to be able to climb to the top of the clock tower. They say the mechanism is incredible. I should go back and see Frau Beckmann. Wow, I would hate to be the one who must tune this. Better try another one.
Okay, I'm not sure if I need this, but I'm gonna write it down. I think at this point we will be like jumping back and forth, yeah, trying to fix the machine. So I wrote down the number. On this automaton. And this one I can't look at. I can look at that one. Here's also a number, and this one is 6428. You also need a number on the outside? Yeah, apparently so. 1978? No, 73.
One 1973. That could be useful.
Why? Why would be useful? And here, should I like draw this? It's like 4 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A here. C. D. G. Don't know. I noted that down as well. So let's go back to Frau Beckman.